Like many others, my first experience with Super Smash Bros. Was the original release for the Nintendo 64 on January 21st, 1999. Smash was a new concept developed by HAL Laboratory Incorporated, which is actually an independent developer from Nintendo. Smash originally featured 12 individual characters licensed by Nintendo in this new concept. The concept was a groundbreaking twist on traditional fighting style games such as Street Fighter or Tekken that would go on to become world famous and inspire similar games in its wake. The premise was simple. Between 2 and 4 characters were pitted on a stage to fight. Each had a set of moves and attacks that were unique to each character, but overall executed in the same fashion. Instead of using health or stamina as do traditional fighting games, each fighter was placed on the stage with a 0% indicator. As the fighter took damage, the percent gauge would increase to a maximum of 999%, although this was never necessary as the fighter would be launched from the stage to their death much before this. The method in which to defeat an opponent was to launch the fighter from the safety of the stage platform and have them fall below or outside the perimeter edges of the screen. This was the basic concept, but developers added a flurry of items and stage hazards that would ultimately lead to a frenzied brawl of unpredictable outcomes and chaotic matches. This grew to become the phenomenon of Super Smash Bros. At the time of its release on the Nintendo 64, I didn't own a copy of Super Smash Bros. In fact, I might have never been exposed to it were it not for a couple of kids that my brother was friends with, whom lived across the street. For a period of time, we would travel to the house across the street and play this crazy new game between the 4 of us. I was so young at the time, it's hard to measure exactly what sort of impact the game had on me, but I certainly remember my fair share of moments ensuing crazy, chaotic matches on fan-favorite stages such as Saffron City, Sector Z, and Peach's Castle. This experience for me was mostly to the degree of the unpredictable and chaotic nature of the game and not in the typical competitive mindset that you see today. When we would play, items were generally always on at the max spawn rate, so the matches were as chaotic as possible. The starting roster included 8 characters: Mario, Donkey Kong, Link, Samus, Yoshi, Kirby, Fox, and Pikachu, with 4 additional characters that could be unlocked after completing certain requirements: Luigi, Captain Falcon, Ness, and Jigglypuff. While I was familiar with most of these Nintendo characters, some of them were new to me. I had played F-Zero before, but I didn't really know who Captain Falcon was. Ness and Samus were completely new characters to me that I had never seen before. I believe I mostly picked Link because he was the most familiar to me, especially following the release of Ocarina of Time, but I never stuck to a main character like is common now in Smash Bros. Instead, Smash Bros. Was just a party brawling game with endless fun and unpredictable chaos. It was great for the 4 of us. Nintendo and HAL had created this new concept of a brawling game that would go on to become a worldwide phenomenon, and none of us knew it. To us, it was a great way to enjoy playing a game together and passing the time among friends. In some ways, it has also introduced me to new characters and ideas from within the Nintendo franchise. These moments could never be forgotten.